What is going on, FUD Nation? Today I have shocking news for you, and that is that blockchain and the cryptocurrency markets are very much the same. Before we dive in on a ton of great news that I'm going to cover today, I did want to mention in about a month's time, I'm going to be attending the Crypto Invest Summit. I'll put the link in the description below this video. This is one of the largest blockchain conferences in the United States. It's focused mainly on investing in cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects. They have the Woz, Steve Wozniak, they have Tim Draper. I may not be there for the first 2 days because I have a trip scheduled, but I will be there for sure on the third day. So you can come by, check me out. I'm pretty excited as they're going to have security token sessions. They're going to have women in crypto sessions. They're going to have healthcare on the blockchain sessions. I think security tokens and healthcare are big, so I'm curious to see what kind of players turn out. Anyway, enough of that. I'm going to be there, so if you're going to be there too, come say what's up. On with the episode. Some of the biggest players in cryptocurrency and blockchain, namely Coinbase, Kraken, Nasdaq, Andreessen Horowitz, Consensus, Fidelity, and the US Chamber of Commerce all came together to say collectively, "Let my people go."
Let my people go.
Well, not really let my people go. They actually are saying that our people will go. The cryptocurrency innovators, the blockchain innovators are going to leave the United States because of a lack of regulatory clarity. As someone who is a developer in the space, someone who is not doing an ICO, mainly for the reasons of regulation, there's a few others as well. It's because we don't understand what the regulatory framework is going to look like. We don't want to raise a bunch of money for a project and then find out, we either have to leave our homes and go move to another country to build this thing, or we have to shut down because it's being declared in unregistered, unlicensed security. This is seriously bad news for the cryptocurrency and blockchain community that in America, we don't really know how legal or illegal or gray area or what the punishments might be for doing certain activities that are common in the blockchain space. Obviously, the lead item on that list is the ICO. Everyone wants to do an ICO because you can go to the world, go to the general public, put your idea out there and you can get funded. Whereas when you go to more traditional sources like VCs, tech VCs, they want to see a product that's perfect, traction, money, revenue. They want to see the whole house built, and they want to see something that pretty much is already running itself and all you're doing is watering the grass. In the cryptocurrency world, if that was the case, we would never have Ethereum. We would never have Binance. We would never have 90% of the companies that were out there in the cryptocurrency space, because it's something like 90% of the companies have been funded via ICO. And of those, who knows if any of those would have even gotten funded through traditional sources. So I think this is absolutely necessary. We need regulatory clarity or there will be an exodus. There will be innovators moving en masse to other countries, building their products there. This is going to be bad, not only for the blockchain and cryptocurrency industry, hindering its growth, but also for America, the country, hindering its growth and its ability to participate in the next big technology revolution like it did with the internet. We know that American companies really did dominate a lot of this internet growth and internet-based business, and we want to make sure that the same thing happens for this next round of innovation, which is blockchain technology. Now, something I feel very strongly about if you follow this channel is, of course, supply chain cryptocurrencies and blockchain projects. Now, I have long felt that these are some of the best applications for blockchain technology on the market, and this is being confirmed once again by the retail giant Walmart, who is now implementing blockchain for none other than supply chain management, specifically with its lettuce growers. Now, everyone's heard about stories of E. coli breaking out through spinach and lettuce and other types of things. Walmart is about to start working with IBM on food traceability. Now, obviously, there's a lot of projects looking at this from VeChain, Walton Chain, TE Food, Ambrosis, and more. But I think they're all phenomenal projects, and this is just confirming even more so that supply chain management is really going to be one of blockchain's first rock star use cases. It may very well be the case that your parents and your grandma first use blockchain when they're scanning their lettuce at the market to make sure that it's not contaminated with the rest of the breakout from, the inevitable future contaminations of spinach and lettuce. So very exciting stuff, and yet another confirmation that supply chain management is one of the real rockstar standout use cases for blockchain. We also have word that Baidu's blockchain lab has just released Baidu Blockchain white paper 1.0 today, introducing the lab's independently researched superchain, I think I said that right, integrating superchain with AI big data. They have released 6 applications, including Totem, in the fields of copyright, info security, and more. Baidu is considered the Google of China. Of course, there would be no Google of China, as I said, if they hadn't put up their firewalls and created their own internal internet giants. Again, an aggressive step forward into blockchain by one of China's biggest internet giants, and a good sign for the health of the ecosystem. There's also a really interesting Hacker Noon article I read by a writer called Kenny Lee, and he essentially argues that you don't need a diversified portfolio and shows how pretty much all the major coins are correlated in price to Bitcoin by a margin of over 0.9 out of a total 1.0, meaning 100%. At any rate, I thought this was pretty interesting because if you're getting 0.9 correlation on just buying Bitcoin, these correlations between Bitcoin and altcoins became stronger throughout the bull run of 2017. So while they weren't so true in 2016, they could have had a correlation, for example, with Ripple of 0.3, which is a low correlation. By the end of 2017, most of these coins had close to a 1.0 correlation or above a 0.9 correlation, which means that they are highly correlated with the price of Bitcoin. Now, maybe some of these are going slightly above in the gains they provide, then they're falling back down again dramatically to have even more dramatic losses. So it kind of evens itself out. At any rate, I'm sort of on that camp now of I am big on altcoins. I still have my altcoin portfolio, but in reality, I'm very bullish on just getting Bitcoin and understanding that as Bitcoin grows, the altcoins will grow. But we're seeing here that altcoins are not just going to explode in value 10x, 100x based on their utility or the promise of their utility alone. They only grow dramatically when Bitcoin has first grown dramatically and given them the room to follow. So that's why I agree tremendously with this article that Bitcoin really is all you need to be owning if you want crypto gains. We also have word that Bitmain finally filed for their IPO in Hong Kong. And in their IPO documents, we have word that they have 74.5, let's just call it 75% of the total market share of cryptocurrency mining equipment. I think this is an amazing achievement and something that shouldn't really be overlooked. Obviously, a lot of people call Bitmain and they look to really take the piss out of it because it is a competitor on such a global level. It is a monopolistic entity. And in cryptocurrency, of course, we don't like monopolizing. We don't like control or centralization. However, it would be kind of cool, I feel like, to own a piece of what people have likened to the steel or the Carnegie steel that has made proof of work so secure. It's increased the hash power of the Bitcoin network exponentially and continues to really push forward the microprocessor technology within these ASICs. Obviously, they're not the only kid on the block, but they are the biggest kid on the block. And don't feel bad if you bought at the top in 2018 because so did they. They invested billions into new mining equipment, expecting it was just going to fly off the shelves like it was throughout January. So I think things have really settled down to normality with Bitmain, which makes sense as to why they're going for an IPO. Who knows, maybe this thing's going to tank, but there's a part of me that does want to own a little bit of Bitmain just because it feels like it's a company that, as much as it's already done so much in the industry, it feels like there's still quite a bit of room for it to go. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys at all interested in owning a little slice of Bitmain as they go public? What do you think about this $18 billion valuation? Let me know in the comments. I'm always curious what you guys think. We also have reports that global insurance and risk management firm Marsh has partnered with IBM to provide proof of insurance blockchain solution, and they're also going to be providing this service through a partnership with Salesforce, one of the biggest unicorn companies of our modern day. And Salesforce is looking to have full cryptocurrency and blockchain support in the coming months. Just yet another major player in the game, making blockchain and cryptocurrency solutions available to a wide slew of businesses. Very exciting stuff. We also have word that At&T is going to be partnering with IBM to provide blockchain solutions, as well as Microsoft Azure and their blockchain platform. So obviously, day over day, it's just all the big powers that be in both the tech world and the financial world seem to be flocking to blockchain and cryptocurrency. Even though the price hasn't moved, we've seen quite a bit of stability in this $6,000 range, and it doesn't quite feel like we're going to go under it. Obviously, I could be wrong. I predicted before the $5,000 test. It doesn't quite look like we're going to be going down there, but again, time will tell. Hopefully we start seeing ourselves ramp up into Q4 and Q1 of next year. We also have the National Stock Stock Exchange of India, NSE, testing a blockchain platform for e-voting by shareholders. A blockchain-based voting mechanism will really streamline that process for both public companies and large privately held companies. I know that BlackRock had talked and they have patents on a similar mechanism, but we'll see things like this coming up all the time. And this, if this is valid, of course, in the shareholder voting, then of course what's really exciting is when we talk about voting in general. And we already know that West Virginia is beginning to use blockchain-based mobile voting apps to conduct its elections. And to me, this is one of the big answers. You hear a lot about mobilizing communities to vote, and we don't vote enough. Our voter engagement is below 20% or 25% on the midterm elections, stuff like that. And of course, that's abominable. That's an abysmal statistic, to not have people who have the constitutional ability to vote expressing their view on where the country should go. Now, I'm sure plenty of my viewers will say, well, probably if they're not getting off their butts to vote, they don't care that much and they're not well informed. But I'm a sort of believer in that democracies work better with more participation. So my great hope is that blockchain comes into the voting process in a much more significant way. Obviously, there's a few technologies that need to be developed to confirm that everyone's identity is what they say it is, but I do believe that those technologies are coming along just fine. And I know that in the future, if we can get everyone to vote the way they do everything these days, which is through an app, then we can actually get true participation in our economy. We can get true representation of what people and the citizens believe the government should do. And I think this will really increase the amount of communication between citizens and governments. If you enjoyed today's episode, smash up those likes, leave me a comment in the comment section below. We're going to keep this going, keep the community engaged throughout the depths of this bear market and bring us back into the bullishness. I feel it coming. If you're not subscribed, I encourage you guys, hit that sub button, click the little bell notification. That way you're made aware whenever we put out new content. I'm Elio Trades, aka Bitcoin Rick. You're watching FUD TV, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.